Lakers over the Grizzlies. It's funny. I'm doing the post-game show last night. Where was I doing the post-game show? Well, thank you for asking. I appreciate you asking. I was doing it right here on Hoops Talk. Of course, after every Lakers game, been doing it for years. I'm going to continue to do the post-game show on this channel. Love doing it, enjoy doing it, and love the interaction. I'm doing the post-game show. Listen, Lakers just came off of a win. It's not like we've had a lot to talk about over the last, what are they now? 4-8 over their last 12 games. I mean, can I get a free pass for one game to give the Lakers some credit? I mean, I'm getting sick of myself when it comes to the negativity that's surrounded around the Lakers. They beat the Grizzlies. One of the first things I saw, all the comments to the right, not all of them, but there's a couple comments like, well, they just won because Memphis didn't shoot well. Okay, all right. Well, if Ja Morant would have went off, they would have lost the game. Okay, all right. Well, they got lucky because of this. I'm like, damn. Can we just enjoy one W? It's not like wins are happening every night. It's not like the Lakers are running through 2 weeks of basketball and you're like, that was a good 5-2 week. No, you're saying that was another 2-4 week. Coming into yesterday's game against the Grizzlies. And I don't want to overhype it. I'm not trying to make it sound like, watch out for the Lakers. All of a sudden the Lakers are I'm not trying to say that the Lakers are now going to go make a Western Conference run because they beat the Memphis Grizzlies on December 15th on a Sunday night. I understand that. But can we also just take a second when the Lakers do win a game and just point out what went well? Can we just point out that, hey, that was a good W? Can we point out that maybe that was actually good Lakers defense, not Memphis poor shooting? We should also embrace when a W happens because I don't know what's going to happen. They got a couple games coming up against the Sacramento Kings, both on the road. I know they got a game at home against Detroit. Then they're, I think, on the road again against the Warriors on Christmas. Before we know it, it's going to be January 1st. And this Lakers team one of two things will be going on. Either they'll be at 500 or a couple games over 500. It's going to be something along those lines. I think there'll be a couple games over 500. When they get a W, I think the fan base now is so used to losing, they can't even accept a win, a good win. Memphis is a legit team. They've won 10 of their last 11 games. They're, I want to say, second place in the Western Conference. Just for one night, it's okay to say, hey, I thought the Lakers played well. I will tell you basically what's the blueprint for the Lakers to get a W. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen every night. More times than not, it's probably not going to happen. But let me just point out what I saw yesterday that I thought, hey, that basically is how Lakers get Ws. And, the unfortunate thing is they need a lot of things to go their way to get a W. They need a lot of individuals to perform at a high level to get a W. Their defense needs to be elite to get a W. They need a lot of things to go their way. Unfortunately for the Lakers, there aren't too many outs. There aren't too many predicaments and situations for the Lakers where you just kind of look at them and say, hey, even if they don't play well, they could still get a win. Not really, not for the Lakers. Here's how the Lakers beat Memphis yesterday. Number one, probably the most important thing, AD was unstoppable. 40 points. What do you have? 15, 16 rebounds, something along those lines. Couple steals, a block shot. AD was incredible. I don't need to tell Laker fans out there, when AD has a night where he has 20 points, 18 points, 12 points, 8 points, literally those are totals that we've seen this year, Lakers ain't winning. They're just not. If the best player on the floor, which most nights is Anthony Davis or should be Anthony Davis, if AD is not the center focus of your offense and he's making it happen on both sides, you're probably not winning the game. I thought last night Lakers fed him early. They fed him often. He was getting to the free throw line. It was one of those nights that does one of two things for Laker fans. A, it tells you, damn, how good is Anthony Davis? And B, it tells you, God, how frustrating is Anthony Davis because he doesn't do this. He can do this every single night, yet he doesn't do it every single night. But I did think the team, the roster, LeBron, role players, JJ Redick, I do feel like everybody said, give him the damn ball, get out of the way. And Anthony Davis delivered for the Lakers yesterday. That was one of the reasons why they won. Here's another reason why they won. They actually play defense. The Lakers offensively and defensively have been so bad over the course of about 3-4 weeks. There's some games where they're literally scoring 80 points, 93 points on two different occasions, being held under 100. And then there's also games where they're giving up 130 plus. Lakers played defense last night. They held Memphis in the first half to under 50 points. Memphis had 20 points by the end of the first quarter. They played defense. Go look at Ja Morant's stat line. Could it just have been a bad night for Ja Morant? Sure, but I don't care how they got there. They got there. Could it just have been a poor shooting night for the Memphis Grizzlies? Maybe. What'd they shoot? I think they shot under 40% from the field, something along those lines. They were not good from the field yesterday. But how about it was also Lakers, their defense stepped up. So AD is phenomenal. The team plays defense. And then I got another thing that happened yesterday, and this one actually is more geared towards LeBron James. I didn't feel like the ball stuck. How many times you watch Lakers basketball? I get it. LeBron, one of the greatest to ever do it. You want the ball in his hands. He's going to make the right decision. The guy's averaging 8+ dimes a game. There's a lot of times LeBron's dribbling the ball, and I'm like, what's the play? What are we doing? Everybody else is just standing around looking at LeBron. That's not good offense. It's the easiest thing you could do for a defense. Dribble the ball for 10, 15 seconds of a shot clock. Every head coach is saying in the NBA, sure, that sounds good. And then you got to jack up a bad shot towards the end of the shot clock, or you're trying to get to the basket. And then by the time you finally kick it out and you find somebody else, you're forcing that player to have to take a bad shot, a contested shot, end of the shot clock. I thought the Lakers, the ball wasn't sticking. And that is a very LeBron James thing where the ball is sticking. Maybe, and I'm going to get into, obviously LeBron working his way back from what do you have, 7 days off, something along those lines, which is very, very odd in the NBA to have a player out or to get that much time off. But that's another thing that I noticed, at least in that first half before Anthony Davis got that stinger. I think it was his left shoulder. The ball was moving. Everybody, is it going to Austin Reeves? Is it going to Max Christie? Is the ball going back to Anthony Davis? Is Bron getting a good shot? And I do point the finger at LeBron on that. There's a lot of times that the Lakers are playing, and all of a sudden it becomes hero ball. It becomes ISO ball. It becomes take a shot before the shot clock ends. It was nice yesterday to see that ball not sticking. Last night was a great win. They got to build off of it. And I really don't have much negativity towards that game because they dominated the game from the tip-off. They were up. What did they start the game? 7-0? Do you know the biggest lead Memphis had in last night's game? It was 0. It was 0. They didn't have a lead. So there's different ways, I think, to look at different Laker wins. If they beat Utah by 1 and Utah's a lottery team, I'm going to find something to bitch and complain about. If they lose to the Atlanta Hawks because there's poor execution and guys make plays that you just felt like were lazy decisions, there's a lot to complain about. Last night, Memphis, 18-9 on the season, had won 10 of their last 11 games. I got nothing but praise to the Lakers last night because I did think it was a good win. But that is basically how you get a W if you're the Lakers. AD's got to be great. You got to play great team defense. The ball can't stick. It's a combination of all that. And you're going to need, outside of Anthony Davis to be the star, LeBron to kind of, fill in the gap from there. Then you're going to need 2-3 guys after that to all contribute, and the Lakers did that.